Ceramics. Pottery making. Pottery making is one of the most widespread and one of the oldest art. As we have studied in our history book, pottery making started around the Paleolithic or Old Stone Age. Fired clay is the only material on Earth that does not change with time. Throughout the age, cultures around the world have used clay for many purposes. Pottery was mainly for utilitarian purposes like storing grain or dried materials. Types of pottery making. There are 5 types of pottery making. First one is pinch and pulled forms. Second is slab method. Third is coil pot. Fourth is molds. Fifth is potter's wheel. Sculpture, architecture, jewelry. Sculpture is the act and art of making three-dimensional works of art such as statues. A statue is an image such as a person or animal that is sculpted in a solid substance. Sculptures may be carved, chiseled, modeled, cast or constructed. They can be made of many different materials such as wood, stone, clay, metal, sand, ice, and even balloons. A person who creates sculpture is called a sculptor. Types of sculpture. Carving sculpture. Additive sculpture. Subtractive sculpture. Modeling. Construction and assemblage. Casting and enameling. Fiber. Fiber is taken from plants or animals. For example, cotton from cotton seed pods, wool from sheep hair, linen from flax stems, or silk from the spun cocoons of silkworms. In order to make cloth or clothing, fiber is spun into a strand known as yarn. When the yarn is ready and dyed for use, it can be made into cloth in a number of ways. Knitting and crochet are common methods of twisting and shaping the yarn into fabric. The most common use of yarn to make cloth is weaving. In weaving, the yarn is wrapped on a frame called a loom and pulled out vertically. This is known as the warp. Then another strand of yarn is worked back and forth, wrapping over and under the warp. This wrapped yarn is called the weft. Most art and commercial textiles are made by this process. Weaving and pulling threads. Braiding and basketry. Stitchery. Different types of stitches.